Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to Union County in eastern Oregon. The town of La Grande is the county seat and is around 2,800 feet in elevation, but nearby mountains rise to over 9,000 feet high. The climate here is a warm summer Mediterranean climate, with warm dry summers and cold snowy winters. The forests that adorn the mountains around La Grande include ponderosa pine, Doug fir, grand fir, Engelmann spruce with Rocky Mountain maple, and black locust shedding their leaves each fall. Common animals here include moose, elk, mountain goats, bighorn sheep, as well as 3 subspecies of deer. While these animals browse and graze, they are hunted by bobcat, Canada lynx, cougar, coyotes, gray wolves, and black bears. Around the Grand, reports of black bears near human habitation have been increasing, and they've started to raid rural dwellings in search of food. Just a few miles outside of town, Craig Lankford and his wife Tina had a black bear visiting their property. The bear had taken an interest in Lankford's chicken coop and had visited numerous times. On May 23, 2023, Craig was relaxing in the evening when he heard a ruckus in his chicken coop. Being an avid hunter and sportsman, Craig knew that it could be the bear that had been visiting, so he grabbed a hunting rifle and headed outside to see what was going on. In the darkness, Craig scanned the chicken coop and could see a large, shadowy shape. Craig knew he finally had a chance to put the terror of his chickens to rest and leveled his sights on the bear. Squeezing off a shot, Craig watched as the bear spun and disappeared into the darkness. Convinced that it would bleed out soon, and knowing he shouldn't pursue the bear in the dark, Craig decided to wait. Craig decided to pick up the bear's blood trail in the morning. At the crack of dawn the next morning, Craig gathered his rifle and some other necessities he would need to trail the bear. A few hundred yards away from his home, he found the wounded bear and prepared to end its suffering and chicken stealing for good. As Craig observed the bear, he noticed that it was very large and colored like a grizzly bear. He knew grizzlies are not known to inhabit any habitat in Oregon and haven't been there for the better part of 100 years. The bear was clearly injured from his shot the previous night, so Craig lowered his rifle for the coup de grace. As soon as the bear filled his sights, he pulled the trigger, and the rifle roared. The bear jumped as the bullet punched through its flesh, but what it did next was completely unexpected. As Craig lowered his rifle from his shoulder, he could see the bear racing toward him. He wasn't certain if it was simply trying to get away or actually coming to attack him at first. In a matter of seconds, all of his doubts were erased. The bear closed on Craig with speed that was unimaginable. As it approached him, Craig turned sideways in an attempt to avoid the attack. The bear rose to its hind legs as it began to wrestle with Craig. Sources indicate that black bears are about 5 times stronger than a human being, and this bear was massive. It overpowered Craig and straddled him as it overwhelmed every attempt he made to resist it. Craig's vision was filled with a view of the bear's mouth stretched wide and going straight for his head. He crossed his forearms in front of his face to protect his head and neck, and both of his forearms fit inside the bear's jaws. As the bear chomped its jaws onto Craig's forearms, it slashed at his head, ripping gashes through his scalp. Each time it tossed its head, trying to move Craig's arms out of the way, it quickly latched onto his forearms in a new place. During the attack, Craig screamed and hollered, trying to scare the bear away. He could feel the bear's canines ripping holes in his skin, but kept his head about him. As soon as he had half a chance, he used his arms to push the bear away and slipped out from under it, regaining his feet. The 2 rifle shots that put the fire in the bear were starting to take effect. Craig separated himself from the bear, and instead of attacking him again, it stood and panted. Craig took the opportunity to put some distance between the two of them and made his way back down the hill to safety. Authorities were notified of the attack, and an ambulance was sent to take Craig to the hospital. It isn't clear who contacted the authorities, whether it was Craig or hospital staff, but soon there were several different agencies headed to search for the wounded bear. The Mount Emily Recreation Area was closed, and visitors were directed to leave. An injured bear is a dangerous bear, especially one that has been habituated to human food sources. The Oregon State Police closed roads to the area as the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife officers planned a search to locate the wounded Bruin. Just before 11 a.m., they'd located a wounded bear that fit the description Craig had provided for them. They observed it to make sure that it could be the bear responsible for the chicken raiding and attack on Craig. The bear was shot to put it out of its misery, and in belief that this was the bear they were looking for. The big black bear's carcass was retrieved from Craig's property, and its body was analyzed in a necropsy. It was determined that the bear was a large male adult black bear. Bullet fragments from Craig's rifle were found in its flesh, affirming they had killed the chicken-killing bear. Back at the hospital, Craig's injuries were cleaned and bandaged. Fortunately, he did not suffer any nerve or tendon damage from the bear's bites, and somehow the muscles of his forearms were not significantly damaged. The gashes on his skull were stitched shut, and he was expected to make a full recovery, eventually. Craig and Tina were overwhelmed by the support and care from their community after this attack. She stated she was proud of her husband, having wrestled with a bear and lived. She credited his vast experience and knowledge of the outdoors for his survival. In the state of Oregon, there are an estimated 25 to 30,000 black bears, with a density of 1 black bear for every 2 square miles, including urban areas. Oregon records 3 other bear attacks with similar circumstances as Craig's. Bears attacked 3 hunters after being wounded by them. There has never been a fatal bear attack in Oregon's recorded history. Black bears have reportedly moved into urban areas surrounding Portland, with 5 recent sightings in town. 4 of those sightings occurred the month of May 2023. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. With a black bear every 2 square miles, is the state of Oregon overrun with bears? Are you surprised the bear attacked Craig after being wounded twice by a hunting rifle? Do you think Craig was justified in shooting the bear after it raided his chicken coop? I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so please post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.